What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Before we get into the technical analysis like we normally do in the price predictions and all that stuff, I want to touch base on something that I addressed a couple days ago. And I'm going to have a hell of a time explaining it, but if you stick with the thought process, it should be cohesive, it should be understandable, and if you just hear me out, I think that this validates what I was talking about in one of my more recent videos here, okay? It was a theory. It is a theory, but I think this validates that theory, okay? So hit the like button, subscribe, let's get into it, all right? If you guys remember, on the 17th, I made a video called XRP ETF Pushback to Late July, the Grand Design. In this, we talk about how the ETF got pushed back. I think it's August, or no, it is late July that they have until they can approve it. They'll probably push it back even further and approve it later, or maybe they'll approve it then, who knows. But in this, we also talk about how the SEC paused its appeal for the court ruling that XRP had, or that Ripple versus the SEC had, back when Gary Gensler was in command of the SEC. The SEC appealed the ruling because Ripple was found innocent of some findings, of some accusations the SEC had against them. They were found guilty of some accusations. The SEC didn't like that they were found innocent, that Ripple was found innocent, so they pushed back and they went for an appeal, right? And that's been in the works ever since, man. I mean, that happened years ago at this point in time, right? I'm actually kind of, before we carry on, when was that? I forget. I should probably know this, but let's do XRP on this real quick. Hold on. It was on this week here. Back, July 2023, 2 years ago at this point, right? That was when the SEC essentially lost to Ripple. They didn't lose. It was basically a stalemate, but a stalemate versus the SEC in crypto world, I mean, that's winning right there, right? The SEC's been big bullies. They win hand over fist every time. Ripple went up to bat with them. They won. That was a big deal, okay? 2 years later, we're still dealing with this stuff because of this appeal that's been just dragging on, okay? This appeal has been put on pause now, okay? It's been put on pause, and that's a big deal. Okay, in this video, I talk about the grand design. I talk about would you want, if you were Ripple, if you were an XRP holder, would you want the SEC appeal? Would you want that to dissolve in the midst of this boring time in crypto, or better timing? Would you want it to happen while alt season's happening, while we're breaking out to new all-time highs, while we're moving up to justify the price action that's happening and to add to the momentum on top of that, right? It's like that little cherry on top. Price is going up and the SEC drops their appeal. Bullish, right? Wouldn't it make more sense to have that happen during alt season rather than during this boring time, right? And I even actually, and this is why I'm referencing this video, I mentioned that thought in this video, right? It's a thought, it's a theory. And then I think I even say, but that wouldn't make sense, right? Because the SEC is the one appealing. It'd be like Ripple's controlling the appeal. It's not like they have control over that. I forget what I said, but I talk about it. You can watch that video if you want. I was reading this article, and it clicked for me that literally that is exactly what's happening. Look at this. So on Bitcoin.com news, right? Lawyer signals fast ruling. Judge Torres may move quickly in Ripple versus SEC case over XRP. And this lines up with exactly what I'm thinking. I think alt season is going to ignite in July, you guys. I think we're going to see some big news for Ripple and various other cryptos, the crypto community, the whole sector as a whole. But just hear me out, okay? Lawyer Bill Morgan has provided an in-depth analysis of the ongoing litigation between the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission (SEC) and Ripple concerning XRP transactions. After both Ripple and the SEC filed a reverse joint motion on June 12th, right? That was just recently, asking Judge Analisa Torres to lift the injunction. The SEC also requested the Court of Appeals to suspend the appellate process. So the appealing. The SEC originally appealed the court ruling, and now they're suspending the appeal process. They're asking you to suspend the appeal process. The court subsequently granted a 60-day pause until August 15th, 2025. Okay. Now here's what's cool. Here's what's interesting. Okay. Let's see. The lawyer also addressed a common misconception about who's responsible for the delays. According to him, whoever he is, it's not whoever. We got lawyer Bill Morgan. We got the name. According to him, Ripple is the main reason the process has dragged on. not the SEC. Did the dots connect? Do you understand it? This is where the dots connected for me, he explained. Ripple is the source of the delay. It wants the injunction dissolved rather than cause the delay of the SEC. The SEC is actually bending over backwards to help Ripple have the injunction dissolved. Ripple and the SEC would have had this settled months ago for Ripple wanting to dissolve the injunction. You guys, this would have happened months ago, but right, grand design, right? Garlinghouse is buddy-buddy with Trump. If this happened months ago, while the tariff wars are coming out, Israel and Iran going to war, conflict kicking up with Palestine and stuff, and the Houthis in Yemen, like, is it Yemen or Saudi? I don't remember what country. I think it's Yemen. But if this happened months ago, if you had this bullish news happen months ago, it probably wouldn't have as much of an effect on price. Maybe you would have even pumped to new all-time highs, and then all this other stuff that would have happened, the rest of the market's bearish, and it's just not the right time, right? Why is it that the lawyer's saying Ripple is the main reason that it dragged on? Is it because they're aware of the grand design of the markets as a whole? I think it is. I think that's exactly what's happening, and this is a strategic move on Ripple's behalf. He's saying that this would have been put to bed months ago, but now it's got a time frame to be put to bed by August 15th, 2025, and the next update may need to be made well before the 15th. It's probably going to happen before the 15th, so well before probably July, probably a whole month before, right? Not now. They just did this on the 12th. They just pushed this back on the 12th, so it's not going to be now. But likely between now and this time, August 15th, it will be alt season. Is the dots connecting for you? Ripple, Garlinghouse, whoever's in charge here, they're aware of the grand design in crypto, of the alt season that's to come. And when XRP is breaking out to new all-time highs, wouldn't it be awesome if the SEC appeal dropped and this was just put behind you altogether, adding to the bullish momentum that you've got? Wouldn't it be awesome if this ETF that's been pushed back to late July, there's talks of it getting approved in late July, in peak alt season, right? You've got all these things, all these narratives coming together, and the timing is perfect for it, and it makes sense. Something's going on. These guys know what's happening. Why would this guy say Ripple is the main reason the process is dragged on? Unless Ripple, it could have happened months ago. But it's been dragged on for a reason, and that's because Garlinghouse, I believe, is plugged in with Trump, is plugged in with the administration. He's aware of the grand design in the markets and stuff like that, right? We are getting set for that next phase up, and I think this is a strategic move instead of having it dissolved. Does it make sense? Do I need to repeat myself? I feel like I've said it enough. It's a strategic move, having this, instead of it being dissolved in this boring, nothing, who cares time, having that news come out peak alt season to add to the momentum, add to the bullish velocity of this next move. Here we are. So that's that part. I just wanted to say that, and then you can watch this video. I'll post a link if I remember. Hopefully I will. I'll post a link in the comments. I'll pin a comment or something. I'll post a link to this video if you want to watch it. I don't remember what part in the video I talk about that, but there is a part I know I address this kind of like theory, and I might even say, but that'd be silly because the SEC is the one in charge of the appeal. It's not like Ripple's in charge of it. Well, hell, they are. It may be, actually, right? Anyways, getting on with the TA here. Here we are at about $2.16.5. 2 days, 22 hours later, or 2 days, 22 hours to go left in the week here. If we're looking at the daily time frame, it is the 20th of June. Here we are, $2.16, 21 hours, 30 minutes left in the day. I don't know what I just said. I feel like I just got, from the weekly to here, I just kind of vomited out of the mouth, but we're going to carry on, okay? Low to high, expecting that we do move lower. We probably do move just a little bit lower. We're at $2.1650 right now, so $2.16 and 52, right? We probably move just a little bit lower. I don't know how low we're going to go, right? At the lowest, I would expect we go to about $1.95 to $1.88, but I'm not anticipating that we do that, right? For XRP to do that, that would be about a 10% move to a 12% move, and I'm not expecting that Bitcoin even drops 5% from its current price. So it's hard for me to see XRP dropping more than twice what Bitcoin's going to drop, right? I don't even think Bitcoin drops 4% from its current price. So likely, in my opinion, what's going to happen is we get some kind of fake out where we go just below the 0.5 here, a slightly lower low. This was a triple bottom, is a triple bottom. There's no such thing as quadruple bottoms. So one of two things is going to happen. Either I'm right and we get some kind of fake out. That way it's not a triple bottom. There's no quadruple bottom. It's just a lower low. And then boom, we reverse from there. We break out of this range, but it's a fake out. And then we reverse. We find support at these prior areas here, even like this prior closing low here, maybe right there just above $2. I said one of two things. That's one thing. It might be one of three things. Number two, we actually do end up going to the golden ratio for some reason. Maybe Bitcoin drops more than I'm anticipating. Or number three, I'm wrong. We don't drop at all. We just start moving up from here. Right? But I do expect that the price will drop, and let's go over that real quick, okay? First off, I think if you were to find support at the 0.5, you would have done it already. I don't think you'd be rejecting the 236 twice if you were going higher. I think that you're going to go a little bit lower. But again, I'm anticipating a fake out because I'm not expecting something this dramatic. Even if you do go to $1.95 to $1.88, this shouldn't scare you. It's fine. It's totally fine if that happens. It'll be quick. It'll be over before you know it. You know what I mean? 1 hour time frame, looking at this here, the 1 hour RSI providing higher highs, slightly higher highs, you can see it here, higher highs, rejecting an area that you don't want to reject, honestly, in the RSI, and you're providing lower highs in the price. That's hidden bearish divergence. You've got what kind of looks to be, I don't want to call it a bear flag, but like kind of, you know, you've got this consolidation in this downtrend move, so I would expect that you do go a little bit lower. If you go here, again, that would be akin to a 1, 2, 3, 4, a quadruple bottom. There's no such thing as a quadruple bottom. I mean, maybe because it could be like a specific double bottom, maybe it isn't considered a quadruple bottom, but I would just think from this area, you would go at least a little bit lower, something like that, around $2, just above $2 still, but around $2. I know it sounds technical, but this is technical analysis. It is technical, okay? And just looking at the RSI, I have all the reasons to believe that we're going to go lower. And if we break out of this, you're probably, you know, like you're probably going to go lower. That's just my expectation here. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, the 4 hour RSI also has hidden bearish. Oh no, it doesn't actually. You have. Are they the same? They don't. No, that looks different. Okay, they're not the same. It is a higher high here, and you do have higher highs in the RSI, but you are rejecting the 50, which is not ideal. When you reject the 50, typically it's not a good thing. Although here you rejected the 50, it was fine. Here I guess you rejected it and it was fine. Here you rejected it bad, semi-bad. Not too bad. It's not always bad, but I would think from here you probably do go lower. If I'm wrong, and we start to see prices above like $2.20, that's how we know I'm wrong. Not just like a wick, not just a random scam wick to the upside, but something that provides sustenance. 4 hour closing period or a daily closing period above $2.20 would do it for me to invalidate my idea that you're going lower, okay? I think it would, because then you're breaking out of this overall consolidation phase here if you take out that blemish. If you break out of this, I mean, last time you did that, you went all the way up here. So I would think breaking above 220 would result in higher prices. If you go up here, we're playing the same game, right, where there's no such thing as a quadruple bottom. If we were to go lower, there's no such thing as a quadruple bottom. There's no such thing as a quadruple top, right? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tops. There's no such thing. So if you get above this yellow line here at about 220, maybe I'm wrong. 4 hour closing period, not a wick. 4 hour closing period or a daily closing period would do it, okay? Until then, I remain bearish. How bearish? Not too much, right? Just a little bit lower. Fake out. You'll probably hold $2 as support. At the most, $1.95 to $1.88, and then you will recover from there. Going into July, I think you've got a smorgasbord of bullish stuff, right? I've only talked about two things. There's probably so much more stuff that's going on. Right? Didn't uphold, implement. Uphold today. Implemented USDC on the XRP ledger, right? Which is a pretty big deal. But again, developments, little stuff like this happening in the boring times, which are bullish for the long term, but not crazy big media pieces that the news is going to get behind it. Like the SEC lawsuit being completely over and dissolved. This thing that's been going on for years. It feels like a damn century. It'll be behind us for real. Okay, that's a big deal. In the midst of a bullish uprising, seeing new all-time highs, I think that they're timing this perfectly. I think that's what's happening. I don't know if I have anything else that I want to say. July is primed, you guys, to be an extraordinary month. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here, and I'll see you on the next one. I will pin that video in the comment it'll be a pinned comment if you want to see it. All right, bye-bye.